The Bartlesville Public School Foundation was incorporated in September 1985 as a broad-based, nonprofit public foundation. Its mission is support for the Bartlesville Public Schools by helping to enrich the quality of education beyond the regular academic program and funding. And it's working.
The Grants to Teachers program allowed us to build a garden. It provided money for equipment to use in the garden, for work to have the garden dug up and a barrier made for it. It allowed purchase of plants and seeds, and not only outside equipment for the children to use, but root gardens and posters and items to bring the outside into the classroom. It's a superb program to give new experiences to kids and enrich their learning at school, and that's the main thing that education is all about.
We learn to speak a language not by studying it, but by constantly hearing it repeated. The language was absorbed, not studied. Learning to spell can be done in the same manner so that the letters come automatically as soon as the word is heard. Many people learn to spell by absorption and repetition, not by memorizing rules. For those people, this program saves much time from the busy work and memorizing exceptions to these rules. For the student who needs the rules of spelling, this spelling management program provides an added chance of learning.
Well, the grant was very helpful to us because it allowed us to enlarge and reduce artwork and work in groups and create pieces much, much faster than we've ever been able to do before. It's been very helpful along those lines. It's also been helpful in allowing us to do very large pieces of work in a short period of time.
My grant from the Grant to Teachers program was entitled Biotechnology Labs for Middle School Students. It included 3 specific labs, one entitled Radiations and Chromosomes Bio Kit, Plant Cloning, where we actually are cloning carrots, and a Food Nutrient Analysis Bio Kit. We'd just like to thank the foundation for making this possible. It was just a dream come true to be able to go through a biological supply book and order anything I thought the students would enjoy. We never could have done this. This was just an added wonderful experience for my students.
We applied for the grant so we could buy material for the children to be able to make their own books. What we wanted them to do was to take all the skills they had mastered during the year and apply them. We wanted them to be able to write and then to apply the editing skills, to be able to take a story they wanted to write, put it in a sequential format, know that it was correct, and then have something they could take home and say, this is what we did, this is what we were able to make at school, and we could do it on our own.
Receiving the $1,000 grant enabled me to buy extra materials from biological supply houses that normally we wouldn't be able to purchase. Now, a lot of the students have supplied their own materials, but there's certain things like media, certain things like bacteria that we have been able to order because we've had the funding.
Does that help? That is only part of the story. In addition to the wide range of projects you have just seen, there are others just as exciting, such as computer expansion, additional math and science projects, history and geography aids, stress coping skills, adopt a kindergarten class, and supporting a student store. Going back to 1985, the Bartlesville Public School Foundation became a reality on September 4th, when incorporated status was achieved and a request for nonprofit classification filed. Nancy Grigsby, president of the Bartlesville Public School Foundation.
The Bartlesville Public School Foundation has grown at a tremendously rapid rate. Across the country, over the past 8 to 10 years, public education funds have grown also at a rapid rate. A seed has been planted in the Bartlesville community, creating an impetus for a state-of-the-art financial endeavor to benefit our local schools. Never has an endeavor been so critical. Local support is a crucial issue in public education at this time. We have provided an avenue for broad-based local support. Beginning in the fall of 1985 with a $500 a plate breakfast to benefit public education, citizens came who shared the belief that the quality of life in our community is directly related to its public education system. Proceeds from that breakfast exceeded $50,000. Our proceeds now in total are better than $500,000. Investors seek the Bartlesville Public School Foundation as a sound investment in our future. Simply stated, the foundation impacts teachers who impact students who are charged with impacting our future. Success abounds. Every step is a step forward. There is no failure in a public education fund. And indeed, each of our more than 100 volunteers who have given so generously of their time, a greater number than 10,000 hours a year, know that too low we build who build beneath the stars.
The foundation is guided in its work by the Board of Trustees. School administrators and instructors serve as ex officio members. The original impetus for starting the foundation came from a group who believed that the quality of life in the community is directly related to the quality of its public education system. The trustees represent a cross-section of the community, and it is believed that this enhances the foundation's prospects for achieving its objectives. Day-to-day business of the foundation is carried out through appointed committees. Allocations, finance, fundraising, nominating, and public information. The task of selecting grant recipients is assigned to the Allocations Committee. The 1986 first round of grants to teachers produced 120 proposals from public school teachers. These were reviewed and thoroughly examined. During the review period, only the allocations chairman and school liaison have access to the applicants' names or schools. The criteria for selection states teachers will be recognized and awarded funds to activate projects which emphasize new approaches to teaching and developing innovative programs which stimulate thought and expand the existing curriculum. The committee declines applications if they determine that the project, 1, was simply purchase of commercially available materials to augment an existing program, 2, was part of the district's responsibility to support rather than an innovation for the schools, 3, was already in existence in some form within the district and did not represent a new venture, 4, was from an organization outside the Bartlesville public school system. 66 applications were submitted in response to the first solicitation. 53 of these were not funded and were referred to the Assistant Superintendent for instruction in the hope that they may be implemented in the future. The second round of new proposals included 54 new applications. The Allocation Committee recommended to the Foundation the approval of 26 grants totaling $12,522. The third round of grants to teacher applications included 52 applicants, with 15 being awarded nearly $7,500.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're taping. I'm Sigrid Williams, and Mr. Sears is joining me. We're going to present Mrs. Fentress with the funding for her grant.
Oh, great.
For the Grants to Teachers Awards. And
We're going to get a marine aquarium, guys.
And yeah.
With starfish.
You know,
And
that's
sea urchins.
one thing.
We just finished talking about them.
Miss Fentress said that lots of times students in Oklahoma don't have a chance to study marine or sea life environments, and now with this aquarium and setup, you're going to get the chance.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Well, good. That's and I think that we deserve to give her a big hand. Right? The whole process, you had to fill out an application form. I'm Sigrid Williams, and Mr. Sears and I are here to announce today that Mrs. Wilder has received her grant
wonderful,
from the Public School Foundation.
Kids don't realize what this is, but
Well,
this is great.
You're going to get some more software that'll teach thinking skills, and Mrs. Wilder thought that it was important for you all to have, and the cost of it's $592, so she's going to receive that much money in a check next week at a reception.
Oh, wonderful.
And we just congratulate you very much.
Oh.
We were quite interested in the process of the skills being taught.
Right.
And
right.
thinking ourselves that they were so necessary and often missed.
Yeah.
I'm Sigrid Williams, and Mr. Sears and I are here to tell Mrs. Delamater that she has received funding for a grant in the Grants to Teachers program. And the grant is for individualizing daily reading, and that's going to help all of y'all with your studies. And you'll be able to use the software over and over as many times as you want to. And this is something that your teacher wanted you to have. And the Bartlesville Public School Foundation and the Allocations Committee wanted you to have it too.
And a week after the notifications, there is a reception to honor the Grants to Teacher program recipients. Semi-annually, grants from $100 to $1,000 are made to teachers for supplementary programs. Programs such as Media Center Listening Station and read-alongs for classroom and or individual use. A life skills program for elementary special education. Basic skills through music. Creative thinking, thought stretching. Enriching learning through first-hand experiences. Plastics material and processes. And using literature to extend the reading skills. These are but a few of the dozens of stimulating and innovative teaching projects that are encouraged over and above what the district requires and provides, and that have been funded by the Grants to Teacher program of the Bartlesville Public School Foundation. Of course, money makes all of this possible. All contributions, unless specified otherwise, are divided equally, with 50% being placed in the endowment fund and 50% in the operational fund. The Foundation's kickoff fundraiser was a candlelight breakfast in recognition of the founding donors who contributed $1,000 per couple or $500 per plate. As community awareness of the Foundation and its work increase, several memorial gifts are established. In May 1986, the Bartlesville Mayor proclaimed the period between May 18th and May 25th as Bartlesville Public Schools Foundation Week. And what does the Superintendent of Schools think of this work? Dr. Gary Toothaker, Superintendent of Bartlesville Public Schools.
The success of Bartlesville's Public School Foundation has been truly amazing, and its impact has been felt since the first year of its inception. I think that in these times of economic crisis and education, the contributions that an enterprise such as a public school foundation can make are manyfold. And I think that one of the aspects of the Public School Foundation that strikes me as being truly unique and helpful to educators is the fact that we have a group of people, community leaders within an area who are truly dedicated to investing in human capital, and that in that spirit of investment, the spirit of commitment, is something that makes a great deal of difference to the educational system.
Continued community support is anticipated as the Foundation becomes increasingly able to forecast a strong financial future for its work and receives increasing community involvement. Through the perpetuity of its endowment, the Bartlesville School Foundation has proved to be an effective means for building excellence into the future of Bartlesville Public Schools.